Hello there, everybody, and today for Beavis and Butthead, I'm doing bed and work. I think it's called bed and breakfast and work from home. So, I don't have photos for all of these two episodes, but I'm going to be talking about it. So work from home is a hilarious episode where Beavis and Butthead decide they're going to try to work out, but instead they're just being super lazy with it per usual. But then one of their neighbors comes by and says they're causing too much racket and to maybe move somewhere else. And so the duo gets the idea of moving into Burger World. And I thought they were gonna just have an entire centered episode on Burger World, but no. This is like, it starts off at them at home, but then they go to Burger World. But they literally get the idea of moving in. But they do give their applications to the manager, who's different, and he decides to hire them anyway, even though they can't do work at Burger World. And of course, they're causing a lot of chaos at Burger World, like they usually do. And they talk through the intercom, and they like disturb a lady who's asking for something, but the duo interpret it as her trying to give them beer for their little house party, and they're just sitting around while there's entire lines. But during the night, the duo decide to get some food, so they leave the door open, unlocked, and they actually open the register. They're able to figure it out, and they steal money from it, and they go to a taco place, and the guy working up front is told that they literally snuck out of Burger World just to get some food, and he gets the idea of breaking in and stealing all the stuff there, and he gets his friends there, and they party while the duo are just eating tacos and thinking they're having fun over there. But the episode ends with the manager getting mad at them for leaving everything to the criminals that broke in. And yeah, this episode's just hilarious. It's just the duo being stupid per usual. I thought it was just going to be a centered episode on Burger World, but like I said, it literally has them go back to their old jobs, even though they haven't even worked there in years. And since adult Beavis and Butthead are bums since they refuse to get a job because they feel they need to be unemployed. But probably the best segment of this episode was they did a parody of Dr. Seuss. It's called Story Time with Dr. Beavis and Dr. Butthead. They're basically making fun of Dr. Seuss, who made all the famous books. If you don't know, back in the day, you probably did grow up with these books. Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Just so much classic books that Dr. Seuss made. I know he had some controversy, but I still can't ignore the fact that he made a lot of nostalgic books back then. But of course the duo are going to make fun of it. They made a book called I forget what it's called, but it's like just a bunch of like vulgar humor, but in a Dr. Seuss book. And they actually made the pages look like a Dr. Seuss book, which I thought was funny. But it ends with Butthead scoring and Beavis not. And he's like, hey, I didn't write it like this, but it ends with a librarian telling him they can't be reading that in front of kids. And of course the kids ran off because how disturbing the book was for kids, since it's making so many jokes about their vulgar humor, saying boy yeah in the book. But yeah, that segment was definitely hilarious and made me laugh out loud for sure. But the next episode is, I don't have a photo for it, but it's called Bed and Breakfast. So this is where Beavis and Butthead are mistaken for being Airbnb. If you don't know what that is, that's like a rental home if you need it, if you're on the road. But I think we all know what that is. But Beavis and Butthead, of course, misinterpret that as the lady is trying to find her Airbnb, but she can't find it until she meets the duo, and she actually mistakes the duo's house for the Airbnb, and she goes in, and of course the house is trash per usual, since Beavis and Butthead never clean up after themselves. And she decides to move in, but she has the duo do some chores around the house. She has them do her laundry, and they literally go to the laundry salon, and they end up just playing with her clothes, finding her bra, and this is the closest we have for Beavis and Butthead are trying to get some. Since, if you don't remember, in the underwear episode, all the way back in the show, where they try to look at girls' underwear, and it's a very vulgar episode. It kind of reminded me of that episode a little bit, but once they do arrive home, the clothes are still wet, and of course the lady's mad, and her boyfriend ends up showing up, and he decides that he's going to take over the house, and he actually kicks Beavis and Butthead out of the house, their own home. And they even reference Beavis's mom. I forgot to also mention, they said that she went out to go get some cigarettes and comes back in 3 days, so who knows if Beavis is telling the truth, since we never see Beavis and Butthead's parents. We did get little reference of them in Due to Universe, but of course they cut that joke out, so because we want to keep it a mystery, just like how Charlie Brown's parents are a mystery, like all the Peanuts characters. That's what Mike Judge said. But yeah, the duo end up trying to sneak through the window, and they see the couple end up making out, of course, and they're watching. But when they try to get in, it just doesn't work out, and the episode just ends. But yeah, these two episodes were definitely hilarious. I kind of thought it was just going to be a typical episode, but it was definitely a lot of fun for sure. I don't know why it took like a little hiatus, since they took like a week hiatus from the last review that they did. So I assume that's what we're going to do for the next few episodes. They're just going to take a break, then episode next week. But I don't know, since Thanksgiving's coming up, I don't know what they're going to do with the next few episodes. But I definitely look forward to talking about it. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.